There is so much of problem when it comes to being in the formal education side, being in the regulated sector. I think the one fundamental issue vis-a-vis the regulated sector and why there's so much of issues in terms of profitability, in terms of scalability, is that this is considered by Government of India as a not-for-profit activity. It's a non-commercial activity. It's supposed to be a service to the general public, and therefore they envisage a system where they have to have a trust or a society or a Section 25 not-for-profit entity. Now, the big question comes here is that if you are going to be in a business, quote unquote, of education, and you're supposed to be in a regulated sector, and you're supposed to be having a not-for-profit entity, how does it operate? Probably Section 25 company is a better option because it gives you a transparency from an investor point of view. Your accounts, your details, your basic information is available in public domain. I won't go into the reimbursement part of it because a lot of schools, when we interact with them, they feel that that reimbursement policy, which is a per child expenditure incurred by the state government, or the fees that you are charging as a school to other normal children, whichever is less, which is going to be reimbursed for the section, that reserve category. So what the formula is that while you're giving reservation to 25% of the student seats, you are entitled to certain reimbursement by the state government. How effective that going to be, how quickly the reimbursement is going to come, and whichever less is going to cause a lot of cause of concern to the schools, and it's yet to be seen how it's going to be implemented. Higher education is probably much more restrictive, much more regulated, and much more difficult to get into as compared to K-12 segment, because there are certain fundamental requirements which a higher education requires, which is unlike the K-12. So usually we see people going first in K-12 and getting used to the K-12 environment and then going into the higher education. From a higher education perspective, we have Ugc Act, which governs, which is an overarching, that's an umbrella act which governs the higher education segment. Only universities can grant degrees and award degrees in India. And university could be, there are 3 to 4 types of universities. Could be a central university that we see, or the state university. The new thing which has come into the state university is the private university. So for last, let's say 10 to 15 years, a lot of initiatives have been taken by various enterprising individuals to get the private university enactments in place. So what it grants you is a flexibility to set up a private university which is outside the so-called state university umbrella.